So as we approach the new year, tonight is New Year's Eve, for a new recipe I'm going to give you some improv advice which could be useful also as life advice. The question that I ask you is, so what do we do when we approach an improv scene at first? What do we focus on? And it's particularly useful in approaching, a new year, which is in a way a new page in our life, a new phase. Many times we are told to look for a problem to solve. That was kind of the mantra. And that is absolutely not wrong. The opposite, it's wise advice, because you will always be sure that you know what to do on an improv stage, that you're there and you have something going on for you. Because if you have a problem to solve, well then that's like, it's the gas that you put in your motor to keep it running all the time, which is not bad, absolutely. What I'm asking myself is there something more to the story? Can we also do something else? Can we approach it in a slightly different way? And if I'm doing this video, of course, it's because I think the answer is yes. There are, I think, two major problems with the concept of look for a problem to solve. The first one is that you will be automatically focusing on all the negative that is there, in everything that's going wrong, everything that you don't like, everything that you can be upset about. You will look for it, and of course you look for it, you will find it. So for example, someone brings you a piece of cake and you say that you don't like it, it's disgusting. Someone shows you a painting that they've done and they say, I don't like it. It's all going to be all the negative, which could drag the scene down and the energy of the scene down a little bit, which especially at the beginning then makes everything a little bit harder, I think. Also, a typical thing is characters not wanting to be where they are. Well, I believe if you already begin a scene and you don't want to be where you are, well then we don't want to see you there. Another problem that might occur is that it might lead to scenes which are a little bit short-sighted. So if I look for a problem to solve and I find it, well then the problem is solved and then the story is over. And the whole thing will have been about me solving a problem. But why should I care? I would probably suggest you to look for a goal. An objective is what your character is there to do. What does your character even want? And why? Why is your character even in that scene in the first place? There is a common misconception that says that a story is driven by conflicts. Well, I don't completely agree with that. I don't think that a story is driven by conflict. Rather, I think that a story is driven by goals. If we want to be technical, and of course we do, a goal is what makes the story, exist. And a conflict, or more conflicts, are what makes the story interesting. So the conflicts make the story funny if it's a comedy. The conflicts make the story dramatic if it's a tragedy, and so on. But the story is identified by its goal. And here's the key thing. One thing is trying to invent a problem in order to try and be interesting for the audience, which is something I wouldn't advise doing. And another is allowing the conflicts to emerge organically from the story. And that makes all the difference in the world. That makes the difference between one approach and another. Because of course there will be conflicts in your story. Of course there will be. Because imagine a story without conflicts. So, a boy wants ice cream. The boy gets ice cream. The end. I mean, technically it is a story, but it's not very interesting because there are no conflicts. But again, one thing is setting a goal for yourself. Let's say, for example, the boy wants ice cream. And then just staying in the moment, reacting to what's going on around you, and allowing the conflicts to emerge organically from the plot. And another thing is being in your head, trying to think the most effective and funny conflicts that will, or dramatic conflicts that will make the story interesting. In that case, it's going to look like very much like an invention, and improv is much less of an invention than what is commonly thought. Improv is more of a discovery than an invention. And that's why focusing on the conflict to begin with will automatically put your brain into an invention mode. And trust it, conflicts will emerge organically from the plot. It will become automatically interesting. And you know why? Because it's important for the boy to get ice cream. And you know how life is. You know, when it's important to get something, there are 1,000 things that get in the way. But we're not done, because we can do something that's even better than looking for a goal. And that is, look for inspiration. What does that even mean? It means that maybe you walk into an improv scene and your scene partner tells you, "I love you," without making eye contact. In general, anything that draws your attention is something that could inspire you. And to make this point even more compelling, as you see, I move the Happy New Year hat from there to there so you can see it. You know, it's beautiful light. Exist in a given point of time and space and just be inspired. And the goal will come organically from that, and the conflicts will come organically from that. So this takes a second to say and a lifetime to really accept and understand. But if you're on an improv stage and you have the courage of accepting, of not knowing what to do, there you will find incredible portals of discovery, which is your inspiration. So to sum it up, without dramatic pauses this time, if you can walk on stage and look for a conflict, it's good. If you can walk on stage and look for a goal, an objective, something that you need to do, and tell us why, it's better. And if you can look for an inspiration and just taking it from there, it's just even better. Having said all this, my dear friends, Happy New Year!